Breaking news. The United States has accused China of conducting a secret nuclear explosive test on June 22, 2020, just days after the deadly Galwan Valley border clash with India. The claim was made by a senior U.S. official at a major disarmament conference this week. At a United Nations conference on disarmament in Geneva, U.S., Under-Secretary of State for Arms Control and International Security, Thomas G. DiNanno, said Washington is aware that China carried out nuclear explosive tests in 2020 using a technique known as decoupling, a method designed to reduce the effectiveness of seismic monitoring so that underground blasts are harder to detect. He said one such test took place on June 22, 2020, roughly a week after the violent Galwan Valley clash between Indian and Chinese forces. The Galwan Valley clash occurred on June 15, 2020, along the disputed line of actual control in eastern Ladakh, resulting in the deaths of 20 Indian soldiers and reported casualties on the Chinese side, in one of the deadliest border confrontations between the two nuclear-armed neighbors in decades. If true, this alleged test would mark a serious breach of international norms, including the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, CTBT, which bans explosive nuclear tests, though China and the United States have not formally ratified it. The timing and secretive nature of the test also raise questions about transparency around nuclear programs and global security monitoring. The accusation comes as the New START Treaty, the last major binding arms control agreement between the U.S. and Russia, expired on February 5, 2026, leaving no formal limits on strategic nuclear arsenals for the first time in more than half a century. U.S. officials argue that China's growing nuclear capacity, estimated at several hundred warheads and rising, underscores the need for broader arms control frameworks that include Beijing, Moscow, and Washington. China has dismissed the allegations, calling them exaggerations and stating that it has always acted responsibly on nuclear issues. Its disarmament envoy argued that the U.S. narrative is aimed at amplifying the idea of a China nuclear threat and rejected claims that Beijing violated commitments. These renewed